Hey everyone, today's deck is Dimir Draw Two. What we're looking to do is draw a bunch of extra cards on our turn and then activate a bunch of good effects with cards that like it when we draw the second card of every turn. This deck, you may have seen a few videos floating around, it's definitely got potential, and I personally believe that with the right deck list, this can really help you climb the ladder. Taking a look at the deck list, the card draw comes through 3 Suspicious Stowaway, 4 Tainted Indulgence, 3 Yawgmoth Praetor, and 3 Kaito Shizuki. If you know me, you know that I have a soft spot for this guy. Then in terms of the positive effects, we've got 4 Faerie Vandal that gets bigger every time we draw a second card, 3 Gixian Puppeteer that drains our opponent for 2, and on top of that, when it dies, we can bring back a creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. That's a really powerful effect, and the body's not bad either. Finally, 3 Sheoldred the Apocalypse. It's just such a good card. Some lists don't run this. I think it's too good to not play. We also run 3 Graveyard Trespasser as a bit of extra drain power, a bit of extra reach. There's also a bit more Reaimator in the format right now, and getting rid of their threats that they tried to bring back is a big bonus. The removal suite consists of 4 cut down. I think it's just a staple in any black deck right now. 3 go for the throat. I know some people like playing Infernal Grasp, but I personally don't really want to lose 2 life. And there's not really that many artifacts that are a threat in the meta right now. My personal opinion, your mileage may vary on that. And 3 Invoke Despair, very greedy, but it is one of the most powerful sorceries in the game, and I think not playing this is a mistake. Finally, we played 24 lands, including 4 Raffine's Tower for the cycling, and that also will help us draw a second card on our turn as well. That's the deck, let's get into the gameplay. Going first, we're going to keep this hand. It's quite strong. We'll play the Shipwreck Marsh on 1. Second turn, we can play Tainted Indulgence, or go for the throat if we have to. There's Faerie Vandal as well. I could just end up flashing in Faerie Vandal, depends on what threat they play. I am just going to flash in Faerie Vandal. I'm going to block this. There's a swamp. I'm going to play out Gix. I'm going to attack. I'm going to pay the life so we can draw an extra card. We will go down to 14, but that's okay. There's another Phoenix chick. Down to 13. There's another Faerie Vandal. Just going to pass the turn. Yeah, I think they've very quickly figured out what's going on. And that's a win for me. Going first, we'll keep this hand. Shipwreck Marsh tapped on turn 1. Similar to the last game, we can play the Faerie Vandal out at the end of our second turn. Would be nice. No, didn't need to do that.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Great. We will play out the Gix. I'd rather this get counted than anything else I do. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll play out the Graveyard Trespasser. We will lump our Gix. I'd rather bring back Faerie Vandal. Alright, cool. Let's get rid of these 2 cards. See what they want to do. Cut down, we'll play Sheoldred. If they want to Mate Spear this or go for the throat it, that's fine. Don't have go for the throat. Do you have Invoke Despair? Cool. Just play this back up Sheoldred then. Do you imagine if they just play a second Invoke Despair? I can. Now, the unfortunate thing is that we have Go for the Throat. So if they play Blade Core Serpent, that's super unfortunate. I'm just going to do nothing. There's Fable. Play this Faerie Vandal. We'll play this Tainted Indulgence as well. We'll discard the Underground River. I'll play out Kaito. Guess our mate disappear. We'll draw a card so that Faerie Vandal gets an extra go. I'll discard Shipwreck Marsh. Attack for 3. Put our opponent down to 4. End the turn. There's another Fable. Yep. Yeah, we'll make it our turn. We'll draw a card again. I'll discard this Underground River. For the win. There we go. Faerie Vandal chips them out. Yeah, they had to use so much removal for that Sheoldred that it just opened the way for Faerie Vandal to chip them through. Alright, going first again, we'll keep this. I'll play the Raffine's Tower tapped on turn 1. There is an argument that we should be playing Underground River on turn 1, but I want access to a Faerie Vandal on 2. We'll end the turn. Scrapwork Mud, yeah, sure. Looks like we're up against Reaimator. That tells me Reaimator. So I'm going to play out this Shipwreck Marsh. Attack for 1. Play out the Graveyard Trespasser. Get rid of that one with the multiverse. Absolutely not. Not today, Satan. There's Raffine's Informant. Or they're going to connive. Have you got a way of dealing with this Graveyard Trespasser? That's kind of what you need right now. There's an Invoke Justice. There's a Tainted Indulgence. I'm going to cut down this Raffine's Informant now. So that I can get an extra bit of drain off. Are they going to block? Yes, they are. Before damage, I'm going to Tainted Indulgence. Get rid of this. No, not the Underground River. Oh, this is a tough one. I genuinely think the answer is Go for the Throat, you know? Because next turn I can play Invoke Despair. See what they want to do. Depopulate is a very... Oh, that's perfect. I was about to say Depopulate is a very real threat, but Invoke Despair is just perfect for us. And we're going to draw an extra card with the Faerie Vandal too. Let's get rid of the Scrapwork Mutt. Put our opponent on 7. We have lethal next turn thanks to the Tainted Indulgence. There's another Scrapwork Mutt. So we don't have lethal anymore. There's another one with the multiverse. There's a portal. There's an Aganjo. Let's attack. I will get rid of the portal. Go to blockers. If they want double block, I will Tainted Indulgence. Don't get what I want, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll discard the island. I'm going to play the Gix here so that next turn, if they don't get off a portal, I can discard 3 cards and see what I can play. Yep. They do get a portal off. That's so lucky for them. And don't they know it? Down to 2. Nice Faerie Vandal. Queen's Informant. It's a reunion. Yeah, sure. Alright. There's a backup one with the multiverse, because why not? Yeah, let's do this. Oh, we get a land. We'll get rid of the Scrapwork Mutt, of course. Just gotta hope they don't find a Portal to Phyrexia. Yeah, we should have actually got rid of our own. That was a mistake. Invoke Despair off the top is basically our only way of winning now. We have 2 of them. How many lands do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Kaito to draw extras is good. Invoke Despair doesn't do it anymore. Fun. Yeah, we'll play Gixian Puppeteer. This game's actually over. Alright, going first. Wow. We'll keep this. Very interesting opening hand with Cut Down, Tainted Indulgence, Graveyard Trespasser. Not really wanting to use my Cut Down here. I'm going to keep up the both black and the blue. If my opponent doesn't do anything noteworthy, I will play out the Tainted Indulgence. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, they've got Resolute Reinforcements. Choose not to play it. Maybe they don't have Resolute Reinforcements. What else could they have? They could have a removal spell. There's Valiant Veteran. I'm just going to cut this down. And then I'll play out the Faerie Vandal. There's Invoke Despair. I will just get rid of this Valiant Veteran now whilst I can. I don't mind losing a bit on damage. I think it's better to play the Graveyard Trespasser and leave open Cut Down than it is to play Tainted Indulgence and Cut Down. The thing about Azorius soldiers is that if they get going, they can really hamper us. There's Siege Veteran. You can target yourself. Not today, you're not. Yeah, there we go. Opponent missed a land drop, and we punished accordingly. Alright, going first, we will keep this hand. It's a pretty strong hand. We can go Suspicious Stowaway into Gix into Sheoldred. It's a very powerful opener. Let's see if we can get away with it. Looks like we're up against mono blue. You want to consider? That's the only reason why there'd be a pause here, right? Yeah, there we go. See if we can land the Gix. Something I found with regards to decks like this, like Mono Blue, is that you just need to constantly apply pressure to them. So give them things that they have to spend their mana countering. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to keep that on top. And then there's another consider. They're going to... Yeah. Unsurprisingly, they will continue to play things. They kept that on top as well. I could just play the Suspicious Stowaway here with Go for the Throat back up. See what they do. There's Hortigen. Just gonna get rid of this now. Punish them. That's what this deck's really good at. It is really good at punishing opponents that miss their land drops. There's Solarian Terror. You have missed another land drop, so don't mind me. I'm going to pay the ward too. So of course I am. Not only that, so we're going to get to draw another card. And the great thing about this combo is that I will continue to gain life. There's a backup Solarian Terror. Yeah, the great thing about this combo is that I will continue to just gain life, and my opponent will continue to get punished. Let's play out this Gix. I don't need to attack with that. Put my opponent down to 6. We'll pay a life, draw a card, gain 2 extra life thanks to Sheoldred. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Put our opponent on 4. If they want a Fading Hope, this is fine. That's for discovery. Yeah, okay. Choose which ones you're going to put back. And then find a way to gain 4 life. Ain't happening. Going first. It's not the best hand, is it? We will keep this. We have Tainted Indulgence on 2. So that we can play Kaito on 3. Potentially, we would need to find a land. Looks like we're up against Mono Black. They might know what they might not know what we're playing, so there's a Tainted Adversary. Interesting. See what we can do. There's a land that we were looking for. There's Kaito. Let's make a ninja. Because there's not really something I want to discard here, so I'm okay. As Gix. Because whenever you deal combat damage to an opponent. Yeah, okay. Gonna let that happen. There's Invoke Despair. Yeah. We'll discard the Graveyard Trespasser. And then play Sheoldred. Choose not to attack. I could have attacked first, but I really just want to get my... I really wanted to get that 4th land. I'm happy to let them kill Kaito because they can't draw a card if they do. Okay, let's see. Let's play a Gix of our own. See what we want to do. Nothing. We'll get to draw 2 cards off this. It's a really nice combo. We'll play the Shipwreck Marsh and pass the turn. Invoke Despair will be kind of sad. We'll allow that resolve. We'll get rid of our ninja. They also lose some life. We'll cut this down. And then we had Invoke Despair to follow up the next turn. Yeah, Sheoldred Gix is too powerful a combo to not put in this deck. Our opponent's going first, so it's not a fast hand, is it? Raffine's Tower's tapped. If we can find some better land, this could be a really good hand. If it's mono red, which I don't think it is, it's unlikely, right, that it's mono red. This is where my opponent goes turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear. Well, it's not turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear, but it's still not really what I want to see. Tenacious Underdog, sure. Alright, let's get the Suspicious Stowaway underway. It might not feel good, but if I can draw cards, that'll be excellent. I played this deck yesterday. It's really good. It's Rakdos Midrange. Yeah, let's play Gix. I'll lose life, draw a card. Draw a card, discard a card. I will discard the Raffine's Tower. It's done its job. Because next turn I want to play the Gixian Puppeteer. There's the cut down on the Suspicious Stowaway, as we suspected. And the Blood Tithe Harvester. Not attacking with a Tenacious Underdog. Interesting. At this point, I think the correct play is to play the Suspicious Stowaway and go for the throat the Blood Tithe Harvester before Fable can get going. Don't want to attack with Gix, not really, because we can start doing some disgusting combos with Gix and Gixian Puppeteer. Yeah, this is not the version I was playing. This version plays Phyrexian Dragon Engine. That's nice. I'm going to gain some life. Of course I am going to pay the life. I will discard the Otawara. We've got Invoke Despair for next turn. There's Kamano faces Kakazan, that's fine. Oh, opponent's digging. Get Blood Tithe Harvester back. Yeah. We go first. It's not the best opener. The question is, can we draw a better 6? And I think we might be able to. I'm going to keep this for science. I don't recommend you keep this hand, but let's see what happens. If my phone can stop dropping on the floor, that'd be fantastic. Because there's less than a 50% chance of drawing an untapped land on 2, right? Yeah, this might be the Selesnya or Mono Green Artifacts deck I've heard about. Rootwire Amalgam. Yeah, these go for the throats are terrible. So's not drawing a 3rd land. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this go for the throat's awful, isn't it? I will play out the Kaito. We'll discard the second Kaito. No attacks. We are needing to be defensive here, so I'm happy to just sit back. There's Teething Wormlet. Is anything an assembly worker? No, that is though. Yeah, I'll block this and take 4. Is it 5? Yeah, it's 5. Sorry, maths is hard. I could just play the Takenuma, but I'm gonna Kaito first, see what we can get. Scarred to go for the throat. I should have played the Gixian Puppeteer first, shouldn't I? But I wanted to see if I could find something else. Because the problem is, by playing Gixian Puppeteer, I can't bring anything back from the graveyard. That's the problem. I cannot deal with a 6/6 amalgam. The autonomous assembler as well can attack and pump itself every turn. It's kind of scary. This Invoke Despair might turn things around, but it's a bit dicey at the moment. It is a bit dicey. Hunt's really going into the tank here. Didn't draw their 5th land. That's what's happened, I think. Searchlight Companion. Oh, yes. Hunt plays that. I'm not attacking, so I'm going to draw a card.
Thanks.
Get there. We'll discard Suspicious Stowaway. We'll play the Underground River. And then I think we can play Invoke Despair, and I can draw 2 more cards. The alternate line is that I play the Graveyard Trespasser, get rid of my Suspicious Stowaway, because I've pumped these up as much as I can, and then play the Tainted Indulgence at the end of, like, in their turn, and drain them for a bit more. Because this is about to get super dicey. And I think despite everything, I think that's the right play. Yeah, so we'll discard the Suspicious Stowaway. No attacks. End the turn. Patchwork Automaton. Home just continues to gain life. I can just, if I go to blockers, block here, block here, block here. 3 blocks. Before we go to first strike damage, Tainted Indulgence. Discard the swamp. Yeah, bye Kaito. I'm on 16. I think I just Invoke Despair here. There's another go for the throat that no one asked for. I'll attack for 6. Put my opponent down to 11. Okay, it's not got reach though. Do this, take 7. Actually, no, I'll take 6. Yeah. What can I do here? Yeah, let's play the Graveyard Trespasser. Get rid of the Rootwire Amalgam. I could play Kaito, make a 1/1 ninja, but I do think just making Gix here is the right play. attack for 6. I will not draw a card. Teething Wormlet. Make a Mishra's Foundry. Block here. Block here. Take 1, 2, 5, 7. Yeah, there we go. So I ended up going 11 and 9 with this deck. Unbelievably, so only a 55% win rate, but this deck thrives going on the play. 80% win rate on the play, 25% win rate on the draw, something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. The issue I had was that when this deck draws slowly, it crushes you, and being slow on the draw kills you. So we need to find a way of refining the deck list so that we have faster turn 2s, because if you're not able to make a turn 2 play on the draw, which was the case a lot of the time, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. I lost 4 games on the draw on the bounce, 2 real nail biters and 2 complete, yeah, there were stomps because I couldn't do anything. And it's Magic the Gathering, but it is part of this deck. In terms of cards that I think should stay, Faerie Vandal won me a lot of games. Graveyard Trespasser is too good in the meta right now because of the Reaimator strategies, and it can also be a very good blocker for mono red. Gix and Sheoldred, this combo is too strong. Turn 3 Gix into turn 4 Sheoldred, you will often just completely paralyze your opponents and they will be just unable to deal with your threats. I think in terms of the removal package, let's see, 4 cut down, 3 go for the throat. I think that's about right. 3 Invoke Despair as well. We got Invoke Despair off a lot, but part of the problem when we played Invoke Despair as well was that if we were behind and we played Invoke Despair, it was still too often too little, too late. But I still think it's a really good card and you should keep it in the deck. Maybe put out a go for the throat for an Infernal Grasp, but there are not enough artifacts in the meta, in my opinion, right now, where that should be the case, although we did come up against a mono artifact deck that we won against, despite drawing 2 of our 3 go for the throats. It was great. In terms of our card draw, Suspicious Stowaway, Tainted Indulgence, they're fine. Tainted Indulgence, I am unconvinced by. Maybe there's something better there, but Kaito is just, it's such a good card in this deck. He provides so much value. I really like Kaito. I would definitely keep him in. The Gixian Puppeteer. The reason why we built this deck was to play Gixian Puppeteer. But to be honest, I'd rather play a 4th copy of Sheoldred and replace the Gixian Puppeteer with something else. I think this kind of, there is a hole in the meta for this kind of deck, but I wouldn't play Dimir. I would play Esper. And one card I think would be amazing in this deck is Raffine. And if I could find a way of playing 4 copies of Raffine, take the Gixian Puppeteer out, play a 4th copy of Sheoldred, but stick with the card draw plan and just play cards that get us a bunch of card draw. So Tainted Indulgence would stay in. The mana would probably be a bit too intensive, so we could probably go down to, say, 1 Invoke Despair, for example. I think this is really good, and maybe then you could play a card like, I don't know, play Tollers there, because when you're conniving, you are discarding a lot of cards, but with Tollers, you're not discarding cards. Quasar is another interesting one you could take a look at. It's a bit of a win more, but considering Sheoldred, you can only play 4 copies. Like, when you're drawing a lot of cards, like, I think there is definitely a shell where we could play a deck that revolves around card draw and include these 3. I definitely think it's there. We just have to find it. I think that's my recommendations for now. Obviously, if you do go down the Esper route, consider revamping the mana base. I don't think you have to go that far out. Like, again, Invoke Despair is quite greedy, so feel free to just cut those out completely. Make Disappear is a good counterspell. My personal thoughts is that playing counters in standard right now in mid-range decks, you don't really get to be proactive. You sort of have to leave your mana back. But because you're playing cards like Faerie Vandal, right? You could maybe play Make Disappear, and then you could threaten to leave open Make Disappear, but play Faerie Vandal instead, whilst actually having Make Disappear. It's very interesting. I think if you do go down this route, you maybe need to take out the Graveyard Trespassers. Maybe Tainted Indulgence goes, Suspicious Stowaway. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. I think that there is definitely a lot of experimentation you can do with this deck to find the correct solution. Let's see what the future holds. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content. You can also check out this video I did where we made Mono Red very sad with Grew Werewolves. Alternatively, check out yesterday's video. That could be something that you'd be interested in as well. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye bye!